Everyone, it's Resler, and welcome to Universim. This is a game that is in beta, and it's been around for a while. In terms of, it was in alpha for a long time. Now it's in beta, so things are slowly changing. And I backed this game back when it just started its Kickstarter. And so basically, it's still beta right now. And basically, you start a civilization, and then there's a narrator too. And then you try and make it all the way from basically prehistoric times to the whole space and beyond. Like I said, it's in beta, so they're still developing things. So the game isn't going to change very much in terms of the way it looks and operates. It's just right now, pretty much what they're adding, what I've understood from the dev diary, is they're just adding things for the later ages now. So some of the changes you won't see right away because you're not at that stage yet. Although there have been some major updates that have made previous save games invalid, but that's not happening as much anymore. And so basically what happens is you start off with the world like this, and you gotta choose a place to start. So you can look for water, wood, and stone to begin with. These are the resources we need. So actually right here's a pretty good area because there's a lot of water. And there's some desert nearby for oil later on. Oil just got implemented, and then there's stone. This mountain right here. Basically, you are you're called creator. You're a god, and then actually it might be really good because then there's two bodies of water that I can go after. You want to also think about planning for the future. If there's two bodies of water nearby. Yeah, but you also need to make sure that you have enough space for them to grow because they're going to get big. So over here might be a better option. Although I was looking at this nook right here, but that's probably not what I should do. Let's see here if I can scroll over and find a place that's somewhat. Well, this looks pretty good right here. I'll start right here. I got plenty of room to grow out in different areas. Stone, though. You want to be near a mountain because eventually you're going to build a stone refinery. Yes, I have played this game. And so let's see here if we can find... Oh, wait a minute. Well, we can start around here. If we started like right here, or like, I mean, that's a lot of woods, but so there'd be a lot of work to do, but it would probably be worth it. We're going to do that. We're going to start around here. So let's zoom in here. And actually, I think we started over this way. Yeah, we'll start over this way towards this body of water, and then we'll make our way. So the first thing you do is got to place the epicenter, which is basically like the town hall. So we'll place it right here. The evolution tower. Sorry, not epicenter.
Take a look at your new subjects. They're called nuggets, largely because of their body's apparent inability to keep itself in one piece.
Yeah, they're called nuggets.
He and Elu, the architects of their species.
So
they are the founders of everything that nuggets will ever know or achieve.
Okay, is he done? Okay, yeah, there's funny. So, they will start building this, so to speak. So residential, it doesn't always pop up as quickly as it did here, but you know what you order from the builder, just about everything except for this and a temple. Eventually they'll build a temple. And so you need to get things going, so you need to do research, so research panel, and all these things they lead to other things. So proving materials is always the thing that gets done, either right away, or just the axe and the hammer. So then next you're like, okay, well, I gotta think, so you're gonna get over then you're gonna need to get a well.
Onwards and upwards. Right. This is quite a beautiful planet. Try not to ruin it.
And we go with storage. So basically what I did there is I got the water wheel to get water to the buildings, but I got well because drinking water from this is not a good idea. They get sick, and so you want to research the well so that they can have clean drinking water. So they'll go about doing things, chopping things out and getting resources for their house. So they need more wood, and survival of stone. Now, as a creator, as a god, you have powers, so you can pick up things to be fun. So you can go like this.
Oh, we're doing this again, are we?
If you're evil, you can help them out by dropping it on the building site and building walls so they got through the stone because you can't help them. So, up in the corner right here, you see there's the number of how many points you have, and each power, as you can see here, costs a certain amount of points, and you generate points based on how much they believe in you. You question time to say believing you, so they start to believe that you're real, and they kind of pray to you, and then you get more points. Once you get a certain point, you really start getting points. And as you see, it's really nice for your brains because it's something that's right now, so it's kind of anyways, the narrator says things to that are either somewhat funny or literally at times. So he also talks about these nuggets and what they think and what they used to be like, and so sometimes it's like chuckle. You'll probably know why. You'll probably hear some videos as well. Speak of water, it's just right there. So basically, you can prioritize buildings too, but basically, it's helping about certain essential things to build up their residential, because this is a lot of people used to it. Their residents, they build themselves. So when they start a family, that's when they usually build them.
I see you've made more research progress. You're not too bad at this after all, creator.
Of course not. And so then you see a number, this is the well, of how much water is in the well. You want to have as much as possible, because the well is going to have to last a while. So, let's see if we can get a really good high number here. It's pretty high. Of course, you also have to think about how far away it's going to be. So, here. You know what? That's a pretty good location. It's right there. So they will clear out things, and it's always good to kind of help things along, because otherwise, because if you're getting rid of some of the resources for them, then they don't have to go get it themselves. They can focus on building, because they're not the quickest people to build. So you can get this, and clear this over, and then grab one of these. And drop it here. So all the resources there, so now she can build that if she needs to. And you gotta keep on top of research here, so let's get some researching, and then let's get some cooking utensils. And so you eventually, so some of the things that I will bypass is because I can't research them yet. But rest assured, because they require something that's later on. So rest assured that, sorry, my mic was turned off. Composition, so if I find something there. And that's the case. That's the only thing that's again. But this is super. So anyways, what I was saying about researching is that researching everything right away, rest assured I can do it. Because some things you can't research until you get something great. So eventually I can go back and get everything. Because that's the conclusions rather than advancement times. So anyways, that's part of the place that can take a while. It's a lot of stuff. So open that a little bit here. And put some stone in there. I don't recommend doing this on a regular basis, getting yourself down to single-digit points. Not that there's any, I guess, negative effects, but it's just a good idea to keep yourself kind of with a little bit of a cushion in case you suddenly need it. Because last time I played this game, I had two people who were sick, and since I'd spent so many points, I couldn't heal both of them, and things were delayed.
Ding ding! Another message coming through.
So yeah, you see, these supposed to kind of teach you that thing. So this is what we love. So actually, I'll read this. So some of your subjects so creative, you need to sound like the component of it. And then it's time to listen to this. So we can explain visualization, maybe we need to actually lens. Since you're the person in Sweden, that this one that does not involve mental discomfort, and you can be followed by the heart, so it's really good. So, yes,
I didn't think you knew anything about reproduction, creator.
And they select, or they keep your argument, you have to love, so you have to find this little where they go. So there's one, and you find the other one, and you have to basically tell them that they need to be loved in love. So, him, who is she? Some mining. Is that her? Oh, there she is.
Oh, they look so cute together.
So, yeah, so you made them fall in love, so book the love, thank you. So the quest complete. So now we get to the really funny part about this game. Now that they're in love, they're going to go mate. So
I hope you've been working on your beach body.
It's somewhat funny.
You're not going to spend another summer just lazing around, are you?
So then their hut starts shaking like this. You click on it, it says do not disturb. If you zoom in, the narrator, well, I'll just show you what the narrator says if you zoom in and get real close.
Ah, the wonders of biological life. It is truly, truly disgusting.
He sometimes says other things, such as, like, you know, give him some privacy, or, like, he didn't know that you knew anything about that. Like, he'll explain later on what it's like, you know, things like that. And so you'll see why they're doing that.
Oh, would you look at that?
There, they got
a little baby nugget. Aren't they adorable when they're young? Don't get too attached, though. They're still mortal after all.
So this is about naming them.
They will soon be old enough to have an opinion and make questionable life decisions.
So we got
Let's
Stick
see how
here.
much you like them then.
And they want you to rename it Stick.
That message looked important.
I just think here what I should name them. I'll just go with some pretty safe, basic names. We'll go with Ryan and what's her name?
Nuggets are
Stone.
all unique to one another. Although there are some things that are shared between nuggets, these include the need for certain essentials like food and water, a stable roof over their heads, and an occasional nap.
I've been not doing anything, so let's see here. Do this. So right now, water storage is being researched.
They want to learn, build, discover, and create. It would all be an interesting idea, poor execution.
By the way, if you wondering what happens if you drop too many resources into a place, like, you know, it already has the required amount, it just shows up as a little stack of resources outside that can be used for other buildings. So you can't over-resource something. You can do that. There are lots of other powers too that come into play. There's probably quite tons of things. There's really high seasons, which is somewhat useful for people who are thirsty. The wellness for resources are low. So you change it to spring to get all that done with. There's also things that's like steps that kind of really helps expand our idea. So we got the audible and they're building it. That's excellent. Let's see if we have anything else that we can build right now. I don't think so. But we do. So we have the engineers. That was why we got this. Engineers repair your buildings and are super important to have. So building engineers rather quickly is essential for us building. So let's build that, and then we'll also build something that lives here, archive. So it's an archive.
This water pump system is rather advanced for such a young civilization. I mean, Sure, it's built out of rocks, wood, and a bit of string, but impressive nonetheless.
Okay. And then archive. So this is something that's different. So to save in this game, you need to have an archive. An archive you can build right away. You don't have to research anything for it. And an archive allows you to save things in the archive right there. And so then, look at some work on it. So you can actually control your nuggets, so to speak. Prioritize buildings by pressing prioritize like this, or prioritize this. And then, we'll get to that first. But at the same time, they kind of, operate with what they can, when they can, so to speak. And so that's nice work. So, you research certain things that help them along and such, and probably get to fishing really soon. But, we're trying to get kind of certain things done. It's good to think about, like the ones I did first, water wheel, well, fire, and water storage are really essential ones that you need. And then, and then it's good to get cooking before you start learning how to get food, because they can't get seafood and raw food. So, tricks like that. And then tricks first. Diet, so to speak. Eventually, you can get farming, where you can do farms and such, and agriculture. So, but right now, they basically make pretty much food they need. So, then eventually, you see that in the corner here, it will say things such as like such and such as forest greens and focus much more. So it's just really, the game is really cute and really fun. It's complex, but if you can probably teach a kid to enjoy this game, because the art style is just, because it's just so cute. The narrator, though, is a little bit, the only reason I wouldn't say have you can play this is because the narrator does say some things that are a bit adult at times. And I don't mean like raunchy and crude, but things that kids probably wouldn't grasp and could repeat, and people would go, whoa, don't say that, So there we go. So we got the engineers. They're 16 of 18, so they don't need much more. In terms of stone, let's see if we can help them out here. You can find a small stone here. That's 3. Sometimes you can find one stone, actually. You can actually find small levels that are just 1. It's hard, though. Just clicking around here like a crazy person. I'll just go for 3. And drop it in. Boom. So you see the stone that actually appears out here. And the engineers are very much on their way. So, that's done. So we'll go with fishing. And, water storage. And so you build a reservoir as soon as you get this out here. It doesn't really matter where you use the reservoir, you don't have to use the reservoir. But I always do it anyway, because, why not? Upgrades are things you have to. It will let you know. There will be like a little thing that will be like, hey, you need to upgrade this, and so you'll know when you need to upgrade. It's just a matter of telling you to upgrade and having the correct resources with the resources that you have to upgrade. So looks like they're building that archive, and so the engineers are built. So great reason to assign nugget. And you find someone, so it's assigned Ryan.
Are you sure that nugget's up to the task?
Yes. Not everything requires somebody to be assigned, like the water wheel and like in the reservoir and such don't require people, because that's kind of, it's kind of an automated type thing. Like the archive, you'll see the eatery really soon. Other things that make sense. Like the reservoir doesn't require anybody, because it's just getting water filled put into it. So you don't need anyone to really manage that hands-on. It's pretty basic. Let's get some stone here and help get that reservoir up and running. Find some stone. Let's see if we can find good. Oh, there's good. That's good. Rocks are like really weird. You'll see tons of rocks lying around, and you can only pick up like 3 of them. So throw that on there. We got 3 out of 15, so we got that getting built, and it's raining again. See, this is why you're kind of like sad, because it's raining, and so you have a reservoir, but it's not finished, and you could be catching this rainwater. So, and the reservoir does react. Like if you're trying to save up water in the summer, that's great, but you need to have. But you'll probably get in the spring if your water wheel. My water wheel produces, let's see how much, 20. So in the spring, you'll probably get, 17, 18, 19, fall, probably around the same thing. But in the summer, you might get 11. Why? Because it's warm and it's evaporating some of the water that you put in there. So that's the thing. So the archive's getting built now. There are things floating around, which is kind of weird. And there are... so the world's pretty nice. It looks really pretty, too. It's really stunning. The sound is the visuals in this game are just stunning, and it's really a lot of fun. This game, can you spare time? Yes, but you really don't need to or want to, because you just want to watch just what's going on and everything, and then get that resource up quick. So yeah, you don't always have to prioritize some buildings. Some buildings that you plop down. They understand they know they're going to need it, so they understand this.
Look at all of those colors. Isn't fall beautiful? Someone should really make a painting before you lead the planet to ruin.
Like I said, little bits of meaning. So the reservoir, they understand that it needs to be built, so they're building it really quickly. And
you look a little confused. Don't worry, I expected as much. I know you have questions, but you'll learn everything in time, on your own, without bothering me.
Okay. So you see the reservoir here? So it's not too warm, so it's not evaporating. So it's 17 and it's filling up water. Now, we're not going to need this 100% full at first when you only have 4 people, but it is probably get to get about 20-22% or so. And then eventually you're going to need to build a second reservoir. So you saw the cooking was researched. And so the eatery is basically a diner that they go to eat food. So all the archives finished. Goodness gracious. There we go. And so sign add name in the archive. Then you can save. See, it actually goes save. So let's actually save. Like I said before, in other games of streams,
you'll be remembered, creator. That's for sure.
I'm not sure if I should be offended by that. You can also pick up trees, by the way. Don't think that stone is the only thing. See?
You're looking a little weak, creator.
And so, let's see. Backbreaking works help Brian finish. So, the creator... Yeah. So, basically, this is what I just touched on, the telekinesis of picking up things. This guy wants you to help him finish his hut. So, he gives you a little bit of time.
You might be too kind for this world, creator. Oh, well, I suppose it'll give you some time to practice your powers. Right. While that nugget lays in a hammock sipping a mojito.
Yeah, exactly. That's why he's at... So you just go, okay. So you go, here you go, there you go. That was only 2 wood. I'd like to find 3. Okay, well, let's go like this. Oh. And that.
So, you've uprooted a tree. Now what?
And then pick up the stone, drop it in, and let's go as weak as we can, because we need to... Because finishing these quests helps people believe in you, and then you get power quicker. So we'll do that. We'll drop that in there. And so we just need to get 1 more tree. So I hope we get 5 power before the 5-minute timer runs out, and then we can throw in a tree there. So they will. It's not like they're going to stop producing. They're going to still try and make the hut. Just you hope you can beat them to the punch before they do that. So, and let's go here. We just need 1 more power to do it. One more point. By the way, you see that 4 and that 4? That's how many believers you have. So, people who believe you're real. But their faith, when it gets stronger, if they love you more, you get points faster. So there we go. We drop that in there. And we have done it. And he's happy. And he loves us. So you got, people are, the happiness level is medium. The God actions have made them a little bit neutral, and the eatery is going to improve crime information. Yeah, there's no deviance. Crime level is medium, and the reason that it says the crime level is medium is because there's no crime, but there's no law enforcement either. So, so eventually you can get defense towers and things that people watch. So, I'm gonna get rid of this. Actually, this is really in the way. Of things, so I know. Okay, there we go. Annoying. So, anyways, there's that. So let's see. For the operation to do. It's good news to hear. So, sorry about that. That was something being unplugged and putting something else in. So, yeah. So as we got this going on, it's probably just a research. Yeah, we're a little bit behind here. Sorry about that, guys. So we're gonna get started into this. And shamanism, so it's good to have a warehouse, because if you don't have it, nuggets won't actually get things. They're just gonna, like, the resources that when you over resource the thing will just lay outside the building. And also, they won't gather extra ones. But if you have a warehouse, they'll actually gather resources for you when they don't need them. To then build extra. So Ryan's hut here. Oh, that's it. So it's Ryan and Nadia. There's Adhay's family. So they had another kid. They had Shambamba. You could rename everybody, mind you. It just, you probably have to jump on it. And, yeah. So I'm not sure what this is all about. Can they fit 2 families in this house or something? You might be able to. The only reason I don't understand is because this one doesn't have that, but maybe that's part of building a new house. So, first house, I can see how it could be basic. Because we don't have any research done. So you see people working, and you'll see what they thinking, like this guy. He's heading home. And if you click on his family and click on Nadia, oh, okay, yeah, so he's heading home because she's waiting for him, and they're gonna produce. So that should be interesting. You hear him talk sometimes, it's kind of funny. So, and then other nuggets.
If I didn't know any better, I'd say you were trying to catch up peak.
So there's one house, and then they're in this one. So okay, makes sense. That's a new addition that was not there last time. So you see here, the neighborhoods are here. It is snow, so not everything is frozen yet. But we're at 2 Celsius. This is frozen water, and look at the name of Canoga has arrived with a small speaking to put to work just yet, though. So yeah. So, anyways, yeah, that's that. So they're gonna make this eatery at some point. So that's kind of how you do it. Other nuggets will show up either from just out of nowhere. They'll just walk up, and some migrate, but from other nuggets, because we're not the only town around. But some nuggets will just show up randomly from walking out of the wilderness and join your civilization. And they were there. And
as much as it seems like goodness gracious, you don't have very many people. Trust me, eventually you get to a point where jobs for everybody to do. And if you are, you don't need to like worry or freak out because certain people who are unemployed, or certain places sometimes employ people without your knowledge. And it will never employ people where you can it only employs people when you have an abundance of extra people. Like if you have a temple to employ people, it's really important. And there's one time where I employed people and then I had tons of people without jobs. And I went to the temple, I said, some people there, and it turned out that all these slots actually there were filled up because the game was ahead of that. And there are a lot of people who have the out. So there's that. And now you might see some things don't unlock abilities like cooking oils and like cooking utensils. Doesn't unlock abilities, it just makes the food a little bit better actually. And then certain things unlock upgrades. Like what I'm researching right now, this will allow me to upgrade the well to make it better. So there's that. Some buildings are really quick to upgrade. The eatery, for example, takes a little bit. Some buildings take time, like residents, or the houses, they just upgrade within time. But a lot of researchers upgrade a lot of the upgrades. Though you'll research, like a cooling system that upgrades the well. Of course, you'll research, something about like I think it's like roasting or something, and that unlocks and upgrade the eatery. So some of the researchers pretty much tell you this is.
Do you know how holy water is made, Creator? You boil the hell out of it. Unfortunately, it's so cold out here, even the pumps are frozen.
So that's his one way of telling you that winter is here. So the pump is producing no water whatsoever because it's winter. And this will start going down because people are drinking water. So, but we'll be fine.
Did you know that snow isn't white? It's an illusion, a simple trick. Go ahead, take a closer look.
I love the character in this game. It's funny. So, anyways, we got kind of something about to finish here. And don't be as afraid in this game of assigning too many jobs. They'll get them all done. So see, there's the symbol right there that this can be upgraded. So, okay, so all these looks okay. Upgrade, and they'll get to it eventually. So, to upgrade it, now we're researching fishing. And so, get some spots. So, you sometimes want to get some spots so you can get two things done at the same time. Or not the same time, but assigned around the same time. So, you want to get the grass here with the meadows, they can carry more. And then you want to get each girls on place where they can visit their loved ones and mourn, so to speak. And building placement is also very important too, because, like, for example, there's roses there and there's roses here, so there's kind of stuff that's missing. Kind of keep this area open so they can build. That's how you can kind of make the world from where you can't decide where to build their houses. You can build things in places, prevent them from building there, and that kind of encourages them to go super away. So, you just have to pay attention if anybody. Yeah, so this will happen during winter. You'll see boxes of presents just show up randomly around. It's kind of funny because they go away with the minute that winter's over. And so you just wonder what the whole Santa thing is that's going on. So, the enemy is going to be done for a long. Usually 5 years. So, and they'll get to it. They don't stop building during the winter. They build a little bit slowly. But you really don't have to worry about them freezing to death. As dumb as they kind of appear at times, they actually will when it gets to. They actually will and warm themselves up. There are other city builder gamers where the people who you're managing, so to speak, you have to basically stop building because they'll go outside and do it and die, and you're just thinking, come on guys, use common sense. Your nuggets will use common sense, despite the fact that they used to be. I think the narrator said at one point when I was playing, said they are afraid of their own shadows, thinking that the shadows would eat them. So that was a loud sound. That means that the other resources are going to upgrade the well. So the well So there is something to think about upgrading
I
once you
can't
have
say
more than
I'm
one
a fan of nugget delicacies, but it should keep everyone relatively alive and happy. They do seem to brew some interesting beverages, though. Apologies.
So there's something to be said about when you upgrade things, when you have more than one well and you have a lot of people. Because when the well is being upgraded, like when you're gathering resources, it's fine, but the minute that they start upgrading what they just did, it becomes non-operational. So sometimes it's good to upgrade. If you have like 4 wells, maybe upgrade 2. Once they're finished, then upgrade the other 2. So that way people aren't thirsty while the building is happening. Because sometimes they can get all the resources, but they don't upgrade it right away like that. So, because there's so many other jobs to do. So, anyways, that's where we're at now. Just waiting. So you want to kind of see where they put their next residence down. So if they put it over here, then they build over there, and so on and so forth. This over here is where you want them to build. So, because over this way are resources and such. Yeah, there's the water, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So you want to kind of keep the area that's kind of industry related, and also farming can later come into play. Because you can't really farm over this way where the residents are. You have to farm, because there's stone and such. You have to farm out over, probably out in this area or so. Or actually over here would be a perfect place to farm. So then you can put the stone refinery right next to the stone. So there's that to think. Man, it's negative 13 Celsius. Boy, is it cold. So anyway, so you see the water is dropping down. We'll be fine though at 26.2% and counting down. We should be okay. So people are drinking, but we don't have tons of people. So. Keep in mind, I just said the temple gets built by itself. You don't have to sign it, but you need more than 4 believers to start building a temple. And they'll just start building it. You'll see it placed out somewhere. And they're basically their own version. They want to build a temple to you because of all the great things you've done for them. So there's that. And I've been a pretty good god so far, at least in my own opinion. So, and fishing is about to be done. Now, the important thing about fishing is you can build during the winter, but there's not really a reason to it's better to maybe plant it in the spring and then they have them build it, because if you plant it in the winter, they will build it. Then and you can assign somebody to it, but then that person kind of just stands around and they have nothing to do and they don't do anything. There is that. So you want people to be working as much as possible, doing things, and then Boca just came into the world in the most elegant way. Mortals are pretty gross. Yeah, I guess we are at times. Whole human condition and everything. So, anyways, back to where I was going. So you don't want them sitting around doing nothing, especially because you want everyone working up until they're needed in some way, shape, or form. So you want to build fishing when it's warm enough to fish, and so that way your fisherman has something to do. Now, come winter, he'll have nothing to do, but at the same time, you don't want to handicap yourself right now. So, and don't get me wrong, it's not like he's going to be doing nothing. He'll be carrying resources places, but without a warehouse and without anybody doing anything resource-wise right now, because they can't store them or anything like that. You want to kind of wait. So, unlock system is hot water, which is important for the pulley system, and the calendar. And the calendar allows you to build a weather station, and then you can predict weather. You can predict seasons better and such, and it expands up here, this area, and so you can kind of see what's coming up. How long this cold spell is going to last. It's going to get really warm. So, really need to plan out maybe like, okay, it's really going to get warm, so I can probably build another well, or I can build another water wheel, or, maybe you just go, okay, everything's good, and that's the only thing, right now. So, it's all that fun jazz and such.
So, there's no single family here yet at this point, which allows us to kind of guide who they build the houses. So, and such. And that doesn't mean it's like if you build somewhere something that blocks them, they're not going to build houses in that area. They still might go that way in the end, but you can kind of control it a little bit that way. So it's 6 Celsius right now. It's winter. Winter does eventually end. It's not like it goes on forever. But it's currently, So currently we got snow falling and things like that. So, and it's really cold. So, still losing water. And the reason that you're losing water is because while you have a well, the well might be frozen up, might not be giving as much water. Now, if you don't have a well, the number going down would be much higher. But at the same time, if you didn't have a well, they'd be drinking from the lake and they'd be getting sick. And there's another bucket's mating again. So it's kind of funny. So you see this is the water going down, but it's 18%, and it might seem low, but it'll be okay.
That looks like a rather rough process. Let's hope nobody gets hurt.
Gosh. Yeah. Okay. So very so it's just really video today. So yeah, I agree with that statement. So we're just waiting for things to get done here, and for it to get warmer. It's 3 Celsius, so I think we're starting to head up on the apex. The water is still a little bit probably uninviting, but let's see if we can get ready to build the fishery. So we can at least plan it out. So I think we put it right here. Whoa. Yeah, it kind of goes pretty crazy far, but yeah, okay. Let's put this here. It is a good idea to kind of put it close to the eatery too, so that way when they're bringing fish in, they can take it straight there. And if the eatery doesn't need anything, they can take it to the warehouse. But it's kind of so that it is a good idea to put certain buildings close by. The well is also a good placement because they walk to the well to get drink. So if the well is too far away, the well doesn't have to be like right next to their house. But if the well is like a pretty good walk, they sometimes will go to the lake.
Spring is chasing the cold away. Now, if only we could also get rid of that smell around your civilization.
So there's that. And we'll build that right there.
Interesting idea, taking to the water for more food.
Where's the whale?
What happens if the water freezes over?
Well, then we don't get food. So, anyways, storage area is about to be finished, so we'll also get the warehouse placed down. And keep in mind, it's a little bit difficult, but but they chop down things to, clear an area for building. You can pick those things up, so you can help them if they're not chopping, when they're chopping certain things down, you can pick up other trees or things that are in the way. It's a little bit difficult because sometimes you're clicking on the building unintentionally, and so, but it is useful. There's that done. So we'll get the calendar going. So then, let's see, resource management, warehouse. So we'll make the warehouse right here. Let's get the influence points, everybody. So you see it's right there, and there's lots of other things in the way, so over here, so you can pick up something, yeah. And you can put it right there, too. Or you can pick it up like this, and go, okay, I'll give some of the fishery. So, and then we'll pick up one more tree here and drop it down. So there we go. So it's got only 4 wood. Okay, well, it's got 4.
I'm going out for some groceries. Can I get you anything?
Yeah, actually.
So there's a lot of work to be done and building to be done and such, but so don't worry about it. We'll get to it. And so let's take a look at some of our expanded power. So there's Jolt and Joy, make everyone gets happy. You just activate that randomly. Kickstart. This is actually necessary sometimes when things are moving. Right? There's Rejuvenate. That's the healing thing. And so that's where we're at this point. It's a lot more expensive, but I'll try and keep on top of it as much as I can for you guys about how much it goes and how it expands. So with this, they got 2 kids. Take a look at this, they got 2 kids as well. So we're getting there as our civilization goes on. Now you can't hire more than 1 person in some of these jobs. For example, there's one there. As they get upgraded, though, you'll be able to hire more people. Like when the eatery gets upgraded, you can hire another person. The engineers get upgraded, you can hire another engineer. Engineers are also essential because, I have 1 hut right now, and engineers do have a sphere of influence. You see that color. So you zoom out and you see there's where it ends. So, but sometimes it's necessary of engineers overlapping, especially when you start getting more and more buildings, because it's 1 dude doing it himself, and until you can upgrade that, you're going to need to have more than 1 engineer. So they do that, and let's prioritize the fishing thing, so we want to get that done rather quick, so we can start getting fish brought in. So let's see if we can grab some stone here and help it out. And let's pick that up, and we'll go all the way over. No. Have to fly over there probably. Long distance dropping is not something I should do. So we got 4 out of 9 and 2 out of 21. So things are going well. So you see it lights up a little bit when it's prioritized. So you look at who are the supporters, and the supporters are the people bringing resources. And then of course it changes to constructors right here. And now the warehouse, you prioritize the official ways to support the warehouse. The warehouse has 7 wood and 21 stone to go. Whereas this, it has 19 wood to go, and 5 stone to go. But there's not as much. And you have why this has a lot of resources, the warehouse already. They have to clear out a lot of things. So some of the supporters are not bringing resources. They're also chopping down trees and other obstructions that are in the way of this warehouse. So this guy is chopping down some. There's the fishing happening in the way of this construction. Someone dropped something off there. Oh, they dropped off 5 wood. Okay. Good. Also, just full disclosure to all of you, in May I will be heading out for a week, so there may not be any streams, but I'm going to try and get some done and schedule them so that when I'm gone, you still will have content. So I'm going to try and do some streams ahead of time, and then schedule them, and then stagger them out, so that way when I'm gone, I don't, the channel just doesn't just go quiet. But I'll be gone for about 5 days, so I'm going to try and have 5 streams ready to go, but I might have 7 ready to go in case I don't come back. Not that it's like, you might not come back. It's like, no, I'll come back eventually. My initial plan is to go for 5 days, but I might stay up there longer to where I'm going, because I'm going on a little bit of a break. So just kind of to recharge and things and everything. So I won't have access to the internet.
Another
actually.
Research item creator. What does this one do?
That's me. Actually, built. Hold on a second. These different categories are in a second here. Let's find the hospital first and get that built. Let's see.
When you see a hut rocking, It's good manners to avert your gaze, creator.
Gosh. I think this build might be a bit of a problem. The hospital is massive in terms of size. And there's the temple. So, which I did not see. So sorry about that. Hold on, let me get this planned out here. Now, building a hospital this way will not affect the health of the animal houses that they built without, that I didn't notice it. Some have easy temple. It's good to have them within the nuggets that leaves the temple. So this will get you more points. So this is the temple. It looks this way right now. You can upgrade eventually, but you'll see her out there praying. You'll see people around her as you get more people doing that. So looks like the fishing hut is almost going to be on its way soon. There's some stuff over there for it. Come out. There we go. And drop it in. And there you go. Got all the mining there stuff. More stone. There's that. So yeah, it makes sense. You didn't want to get it too, actually. Sorry. It accounts for the hospital over here because it can actually the hospital somewhere else. So you go like this, and hospital, and we put it over. So doesn't need too close, but semi close. So. Sound means you can't build there. Come on. There we go. So anyways, what I was going to say earlier in the building menu, so there's here, this is the epicenter. So this is where the buildings are, such as the airport, the archives, engineers, the bridges, things like this. Cemeteries there, town hall is there, the school is there. Then utilities, this is water and battery later on. Resource management, this is like making resources and managing them. This is for the warehouses, fishing hut, etc. Manufacturing, this gets unlocked later on. You got stone refining, wood refineries, refining resources. Defense, this is where the hospitals, this is where the coast are, and then recreation, this is where you get things that you need to find. Legendary buildings, unlock these, many of them are not even implemented, so let's do that at your leisure, so you really have a lot to say how often they do it.
The summer sun is excellent for slow roasting a few nuggets.
Oh, fishing. Let's assign. Let's see what we got here. So that's the fish population is the little thing. This is last time I played, so it tells you how many fish are there. So you can keep track. So like if you had where in the water going up here. So you see 20 output, but evaporation, that's what the water is coming up. That's 20. So it's going up. That's what's happening. Now right now we're researching grass weaving, which has legs to carry more. And eventually we'll research town hall, and town hall is where you can start doing things where you have governors, and you can assign a governor, and you can assign people to the Ministry of Water and like Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Food. And what that does is helps govern things that are being grown and produce it. And like Ministry of Water, cuts down on the water intake, so to speak, because the Minister of Water kind of helps manage things about how much water is being, drank and expended, and kind of tells people, hey, something there. So, whoa, somebody's running. Where are you going? What are they sad about? They're sure-footed, so they're faster than Leonard. Were they just taking a run? I'm not sure. Nice to see here. So, they're waiting again. Or they're about to. So, there's that. And the buildings, the residences used to be really small, like tiny, and they used to be just one family. So this two-family thing, that's why I was a little bit confused. They are bigger with yards now and things, but which makes sense, with the fire pit and everything. I just didn't know yet. And boy, these two were the ones that started, and boy, did they have quite a family. By the way, the whole age thing, don't be alarmed if the age, if somebody that's 2 is doing that. The age system is kind of, I'm not sure, to be honest, really exactly what it's all about. So, it's just kind of weird. Anyways.
I wasn't aware that mating was a spectator sport.
Not watching. I guess it's in the bottom of the screen, so see how you can think that. So there's 6 people who believe me. And that I can understand. See, if you believe it wouldn't be too much. Because when you have family power ensues, too much negative factors stop you. Someone else to help pray. Because the more people you have in the temple, the more people you can actually believe in. So let's get a man up there. So that they have what it is. So it's man, what's this? I am a friend.
That nugget isn't looking too good. I don't think purple bumps are very common.
So you'll find the
Heal the nugget, creator. I can't bear to watch someone be sick. It makes my insides turn. Out of worry, of course.
There they are. So that's just one click and done. And boom. So that unlocks some of the one of the park buildings. And so you read that. So that helps. So now 7 people believe in you. So that person, so someone believes in you, your actions are an extra believer on your side. So as you do things that they ask you to do or need you to do, they're like, So, our fisher woman is out there doing work. So yeah, so up there in the water. So eventually, looking at a well is a good idea because you look at the water we have right now, and you see 5 out of 5, and we have 5. So they're researching cemetery now. So you want to build a well. Now building a well is over near your residence is really actually a good thing. So about 4,076 rockets for this. So do that right. Now people also do their houses gravitate around these endpoints which wells. So people are here's the warehouse. Now the warehouse is needing to be assigned to the interests there, and there's some resources that are extra, and if there's no project to do, they'll start dropping things there too. So you can also drop resources into the warehouse. I wouldn't suggest it though, because there are times where you can drop it wrongly and then you smash the warehouse. So you want to go like that, and all of a sudden there's 2 wood there, so use that, and then something skin. I'm just preaching about, don't do that, but it's for demonstration. We're back in the tent, so it's okay. So we got this well over here, and the water reservoir is going up pretty high. Now, whenever a well is full, it says 5 out of 5. That doesn't mean that you have to build another one because that one is full, and only those 5 people can use it. What it means is 5 out of 5 is it's being used all the time. It's at capacity where at any one time 5 people are either going to or ready or can go to. So 5 is the capacity of how many people can use it. So if everybody wanted to use it at once, only 5 people will be able to use it. That's kind of the idea. But if there are 5 of you, but it's not. But basically what it's saying is the most people that can use it at one time were 5. That's the capacity, and 5. Like 5 people, you kind of have, I guess, say over it, and so you decide you should build this research. So you're going to at least plot out the cemetery. You can kind of just, it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun and hanging at the same time. The cemetery right next to the hospital. I guess careful. Oh yeah, that's the episode. Sorry. So engineer cemeteries, cemeteries. This cemetery also has a small detail. And it doesn't mean that you can actually take the dead nuggets and carry them over the cemetery, so to speak. So the cemetery behind the hospital, actually, so the patient see, look, you need to follow the doctor's orders because this could happen to you. Right there. But since you're going to fill up, let's prioritize the hospital. People will build the hospital more often. So let's see if we can pick up some stone once we get to hit the 15. There we go. Stone, drop it on the hospital, and they got 3 stone left. Now the hospital, obviously, and once you get all the resources, they got to move the trees and such. But they'll get to it. So, and mating again. That is the funny thing about nuggets. When you first start out, and there aren't very many of them, they go crazy. Nugget need to see the gates. Is that us, is it? No, we have the gate. Okay. Now you can't change this. Click on this. But that's right. So Adhey is your leader right now, and he has no personal right here, and it goes and kind of like, and they kind of will generally go that way, but it doesn't have any negative effects on the but it does. But there is something to be said about. Like for example, I had a lot of nuggets getting sick one time, and so I'm gonna put another person in the name. Jokes, max it out. At one point, I had a lot of people being sick. As their platform they were running out. Each one has one platform that contraception ban, armament, citizens, safety laws. It's not always that, it's different. So I did safety laws, and that was, and I influenced. Sickness went down. There's no time where I didn't have very many people, and one of the platforms was contraception ban, so I influenced that, and they won, and we had a lot of nuggets. So there's, you can just let it happen. I mean, you can also influence you.
It's getting a bit chilly in here. Winter's coming, creator.
So you see right there, the joy you're experiencing, you visualize. So people are generally happy. I'll credit you with that. They'll be like, oh yeah, he's a great creator. He's a great God. We're all happy. It makes us all happy, there is, so you want that. So you see the well. The well, if you remember when I first built it, when you upgrade something, when you build it again, the upgraded version is built, so you don't have to always upgrade it's not like you don't have to build something that upgrades right away because the other one's upgraded. The upgraded version is what's built, so now it requires more stuff. As quick as I'd like it to go. Only it's 6 being earned, but we have more than enough water, by the way, too. Anyways, guys, I'm actually going to call it here. Universim. And so, until next time, this is Russ, logging off.